Okay, are you fucking ready?
Dude, you told me to deep throat this mic, so that's what I'm doing.
And then welcome to the pod.
What the fuck's up, you guys?
Guys, we have Avery motherfucking Woods. This is very long overdue.
I'm so honored to be here, and you're like one of the original Cheers guests.
Am I?
Yeah, dude, back in the day.
I didn't know I was like an OG.
Yeah, you're like, before we ever signed with Unwell, it was just me and Scott, and you were like, yeah, here's my address, and we just showed up and sat on your couch and shot the shit.
I thought like you had been doing it. You were such a natural. I thought you had been doing it for so long. I didn't realize I was like part of the OG gang.
Yeah, it was before we were ever signed to a production company.
Wow.
Yeah, and you literally just got her. She was like,
brand new. She was out the oven.
Her. She's
gotten so much bigger.
So yeah, and she was so tiny, and we made a TikTok because you made me try
Fruit Riot. I remember that.
And now I fuck with Fruit Riot so hard.
You know what? I actually think that probably you coming over and doing that podcast was a huge reason why when we were doing our pod, I said that I wanted it to feel really cozy and comfortable because granted it was my living room, but Avery came over and we just shot it in my living room on the floor. And I'm like, this is like such a good way to do a podcast.
Well, you told me, you were like, I've kind of been thinking about it and I told you to do it. And I'm so glad you did and you're crushing it. I'm so proud of you. But yeah, that's why I'm so excited to be in my house now, because we've been recording at the studio and it's just not cozy.
Yeah.
And so I have like a full podcast studio now in the house with like a velvet cozy
So wait, you're in that, so you have it in the house now.
We're recording our first episode in the house tomorrow, actually.
Oh my God, that's so nice.
Because I was like, I'm just not professional.
Yeah.
I can
well,
try
also
to be.
that's like not the shtick of podcasts.
No.
You know, and also depending on who you have, sometimes you have a podcast guest that like doesn't really do this very often, and it's an intimidating atmosphere, especially if you're going into a studio and there's a bunch of people. So having it in your house, I feel like makes the guest also more comfortable.
Oh, for sure. And we have a bar in there, so I'm like, let me make you a martini. You can loosen up.
Okay, wait. I want to talk about your pod, but I have a game for you that I made. So you were a nurse.
Yeah.
So I have a game called WebMD or Delusional Me.
Okay, well, let's remember I did pediatric nursing, so...
No, you're going to crush this.
Oh, okay.
No, you're going to... No, this is... You have to guess what is an actual... What people have actually searched on WebMD as a symptom and what I completely made up.
Okay.
There's 10 of them.
Okay.
You're going to crush this.
Okay.
All right, we're going to... Kels, I need you to keep track of how many she gets right and wrong, and we're going to tally it. Okay. Number 1. Can dehydration make you temporarily blind?
I mean, I'm sorry. If someone's Googling that, I'm concerned for society.
But that's the point of the game.
Okay. Yeah, someone probably searched that.
Someone searched that. She got one right. Can you get pregnant from sitting on a warm car seat?
That's disgusting. I hope that you made that up.
No, that's real.
What the fuck?
Number 3, can emotional stress cause random toe stiffness?
I'm going to guess someone Googled that.
That's fake.
Okay.
Number 4, why do my teeth itch?
Actually, you know, when I get really stoned, my gums really itch. Do you ever get that?
No.
Not my teeth, but like sometimes if I get a little...
Are you allergic to weed?
I fucking
Is
hope
your throat
not.
closing?
No.
Okay.
I'm not like anaphylactic.
Okay,
but
your
like
gums...
sometimes my gums will itch, so I have to like get a flosser in there. So I'm going to guess that someone Googled that.
Someone did Google that.
Yeah.
Damn, I've never had that symptom.
But it's not my teeth. It's only my gums.
Yeah, I can't imagine feeling my teeth being itchy. That's such a... Here's the thing. Someone was definitely like tripping balls and searched...
For sure.
My teeth are itchy.
Yeah.
Can you sprain your tongue?
Yeah, that's definitely searched.
Yep, real. Can stress make your hair smell different?
Yeah, sure. Someone searched that.
Someone did. Why does my tongue look wiggly?
That sounds made up.
That's real.
Are they having a stroke?
They might be. I think they are. Let's respect their privacy during this time.
That's scary.
Why does my pee smell like hot dog water?
Ew, what the fuck? Oh, God, someone probably searched that.
No, that's fake. But somebody would search that. Like somebody definitely would have a UTI and search that. Why do my knees make Rice Krispie noises?
That's real.
That is real.
Yeah. Mine does that sometimes, but I'm in my 30s now.
Yeah, but
things are different.
What a weird way to... You couldn't just be like, my knees are cracking?
Yeah. Well,
you know,
some people like to make it... They like to make it...
They want to be fancy with it. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Why do my farts smell sweet?
That's made up.
That's real. How did she do, Kels?
Shitty. Really bad.
You got a
50%.
You failed.
Well,
you failed.
I thought you were going to ask me like
school.
legit medical questions.
No, I mean, who am I to ask you real medical questions?
That's like all my
Can you imagine?
That's I always get photos of like some kid's rash. Or like my friends are like, this is happening to me. Am I dying? I Googled it. I said, first of all, don't Google it.
Right.
And second of all, I was not an adult nurse, so I tried my best, but I'm like, kids is what I did. And so the rashes I can help with.
But that's got to be more like, I don't know. I feel like if you can handle, kids have weird like issues.
Yeah, kids are fucking
like they got
crazy.
Yeah, they're just gross little, like they just always got like
they're nasty.
Yeah,
my kids
things.
are nasty little fucks, especially in the winter season. Don't even get me started. Cold and flu season. Ugh.
Like a little sick kid running around coughing with like lice in their hair.
Don't with the lice.
Have they ever had lice?
Never had lice. Knock on fucking
That's
wood.
Fucking like that is that is an actual nightmare. If someone gets lice, is that like the most contagious thing in the house? Like, is everybody getting lice?
Lice is a big one that's really contagious. Also, pinworms.
What the fuck is a pinworm?
The worms crawling out of your asshole. Yeah.
See, this is why, like, I don't know if I want kids.
Dude, is
that specific to kids, or is that?
We've had it one time in our household. Actually, only one child got it, which I was very proud of. But again, I go in fucking nurse mode. And
how did they know that did they know that they had it, or did you see it?
No. So it actually, Ziggy got it at Chuck E. Cheese. We were there for a birthday party. That was the first time they ever went to Chuck E. Cheese in their entire life, and the last time.
Does it crawl up that anal cavity, or does it go in through somewhere else?
Pinworms is the eggs like hatch at night and crawl out. And yeah, anyways, he was having some symptoms, and I was like, and so I did some investigating, and he definitely had it. It was literally gone within 24 hours because we immediately got a prescription, and he was good, and like treatment stuff at CVS. But I was so proud that no one else got it because it's so highly contagious because it'll get stuck under your fingernails and shit.
So it's kind of like having a parasite.
Yeah, kind of. And
that's fucking disgusting.
Repulsive. So my kids will never be going back to Chuck E. Cheese.
Wait, that's crazy. He probably got it going in a ball pit or like down a slide.
Yeah, probably.
That's fucking nasty.
Isn't that nasty?
No, and kids are nasty.
And they're not cleaning that shit at Chuck E. Cheese.
No, they're doing one Lysol spray for the week, and they're like, yeah, that'll do it.
They're like, let me throw some Febreze in this shit so it smells good.
That's disgusting.
I know, my poor baby. So anyways, it was gone quickly within like a day, but you have to like wash everything on hot. Like I sanitized everything in the washer machine and just like made sure it was all good.
Okay, well, I do have some nurse. As a nurse, do you have what's the craziest story?
Oh my God. It's so funny when people ask me that because I feel like I like my really good friend Jacqueline Hill. I feel so bad the first time we ever like shot the shit and we're like hanging out, having dinner. She asked me that and then I feel like I fucked her up.
She's like, I don't want to.
Well, no, it's just like, it's a different, like when people hear nursing, they think like a TV show or just like casual things. I worked in a level 1 trauma pediatric ICU. So like the sickest kids in the state came to us, and because it was a trauma center, we just saw like a lot of crazy shit that like doesn't make the news because it'll make people crazy because you don't think it's going on in the world. But I did that, and then I also was a SWAT nurse for a while. So I would be the SWAT nurse for the entire tower. So the ER.
What's a SWAT nurse?
So you're like the help for the entire children's hospital. Okay. So like there's usually 1 or 2 SWAT nurses. And so like if a kid's coding and they need help with the code, if they need help to admit a patient, or if someone's crashing or code blue, or a nurse can't get an IV and a kid, they'll call us. And so I did ER, pediatric ICU, neonatal ICU, which is the NICU, oncology, med surge. And so I would do all of that and the whole tower, which is 5 floors. And then like sometimes if a kid crashed, like in labor and delivery, went to NICU, we'd help with that. But the majority of my career, I did the ICU. So we did a lot of car accidents, child abuse, bike accidents, or like pedestrian versus vehicle if like a kid was hit.
Any like crazy story of like a kid? Because like I had to go to the ER because I stuck beads up my nose as a kid and it got all the way stuck. Like, is there any like weird shit that kids do?
I mean, you hear like a lot of like I remember in nursing school, when you have to do clinicals, like obviously we would go and do adult nursing things to like learn, but we would get a lot of like people sticking stuff up their ass. Like one time we had an X-ray with a Captain America figure. Mm-hmm. People would stick like beer bottles up their ass or yeah. But again, that's like adults. For kids,
that's like the sex sent me to the ER kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
For kids, it was like, yeah, we'd get some. A big one that actually is really, really sad is button batteries. So like that's a big thing we never have in our house is button batteries for any parents.
What's button like?
Button batteries are like the flat ones, round ones. So that will if you swallow it, it's not choking. It's the acid will like literally break down your entire esophagus, and like the kid can't eat.
Okay, well, that was my question. What are things that now that being a nurse, what are things that you will not let your kids do or like eat or places to go?
Play football, ride a bike or a scooter without a helmet. What else? Button batteries is a big one. So like, especially when like, here's the thing, my kids are like getting out of that phase. Like Stevie's gonna be 5 in May. So it is a little bit different as they're like getting more independent. But like even I had gates on my staircase until Stevie was like 4. And David's like, I think we can take the gates off the stairs just because like in my eye, it's like a freak accident. Like they miss one step and they fall and I'm like, they're going to get a TBI and have a brain bleed.
Yeah.
You know, like I just, my mind would like reel. And then I didn't flip them to forward facing car seats until they were very, very not old, but a lot bigger than what a lot of people were doing. And I literally was forced to do it because my kids were so tall that their feet were like squished. But that's another thing too, is like you see these awful car accidents that aren't the parents' fault or anything, but it's just like a freak thing. So that kind of thing.
It's the freak things that I feel like I also fixate. Like the things that are the least likely to happen are the ones that I like become obsessive over.
Yeah. And that's kind of how it was. And like my pregnancies, I was so anxious the entire time just because, you know, it's so sad. You see these incredible moms that take such good care of themselves, do everything right. And then, you know, something doesn't go right. And it's really tragic. And you think about those cases forever. Like there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about like at least one of my kids. And I keep in contact with a lot of the parents, you know, of the kids I took care of. But yeah, you see some crazy shit, but you also bond so much with the people you work with. Like I was just texting one of my old charge nurses, Barb. Shout out Barb. She's fucking
Shout out Barb.
She's been a pediatric ICU nurse for like 40 years.
Holy
and
shit.
She was texting me. She's like, I've got to retire. Like, it's time to get out of here.
Well, that was like, okay. So we were at a dinner last night and we were talking about having kids. And my mom had me at 19. And
damn.
And granted, did not have a good pregnancy. Like, you know, there was a lot of things that happened externally around us. But on the positive side, I'm like, damn, she talks about like she used to go rollerblading and put me on her shoulders when she would rollerblade. And she was saying like, when you're that young, your ignorance is bliss almost. Like you do these things that you look back and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I do that. That is a positive. Whereas I feel like the older you get to wait to have kids, there's just so much more information and you almost become more paranoid. But you give me the vibe that you're like a pretty laid back mom.
Yeah, I mean, in some sense, I think laid back as in like we are very open with our kids and like have not adult conversations, but like we talk to our kids like adults.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we got to an age where we felt like we were still being like, I don't know, baby talk, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's something their school's really good at, is teaching them so much independence. And I think for us, it can be so easy to do something for your kids because you feel rushed. And I've learned to like embrace slowing down because they need to learn on their own, like how to get dressed in the morning and like they brush their own teeth and their own hair and put their shoes on by themselves. So we try to like prepare them for the real world, if that makes sense. But as far as chill, yes, but I also think we are a little bit strict.
Yeah.
To be honest, like we don't put up with talking back or disrespect. Like the only thing I care about in the world is raising kids that are kind and empathetic. And I feel like my kids, especially for their ages, understand people's emotions so well and are so polite and so kind-hearted. And they would never hurt a fly. Like Ziggy the other day cried going to school because he didn't want to step on the grass because it's alive and he didn't want to hurt it. Yeah.
He's 7.
Sweetie. He's such a sweetie. And like, I talked about this a little bit online, but like when he was in kindergarten, his first few weeks, he really had trouble with bullying. And I was shocked. Like there was a 6th grader on the playground that made fun of him for his duck Crocs. And then like, but he literally would not tell me. It like something came up where it kind of slipped up and he was getting his shoes on for school and he didn't want to wear his duck Crocs, but I have them pick out like their shoes for school and their clothes. And he was so excited about his duck Crocs and want to wear them every day. And then all of a sudden he's like, I don't want to wear my duck Crocs. Those are silly. And I was like, and he was 5 at this time. And I was like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean they're silly? You love them. And then like a couple weeks later, he had mentioned it again. And then he had said something about his, like, I dress my kids cute. Okay?
You do.
He was wearing this like little Zara shirt that had like a little teddy bear on it. And he was like, I don't want to wear this shirt. It's silly. And I was like, okay, something's going on. Mm-hmm. And then came to fruition that there was a 6th grader on the playground that was bullying him and like pushed him down, was saying all these horrible things, said his name was ugly.
So what do you do as a parent?
Some emails were definitely sent where the kid was not able. I also was like, why is a 6th grader that's like 11, 12 years old on the playground with a kindergartner? But that just shows like he was still trying to protect this kid because he didn't want him to get in trouble. But like if that ever like Stevie would be the one that would like beat the shit out of that kid
100%,
you know, and like defend her brother because she's like the tough bitch. But we also, you know, like David was very much physically punished as a child. Mm-hmm. That's how he was raised. And we've never spanked our kids. And like that's just not a punishment we believe in. I think too, like as when they're toddlers and they like hit each other out of emotion, like even on play dates, if someone takes a toy, like they automatically want to push them. But then you're punishing your child saying that's wrong by hitting them. Mm-hmm. So that just never made sense to me. And I'm not telling people that they need to parent any sort of way, but I do think that's like a gentle parenting approach that we take. But yeah, I feel like we try our best. Every day we learn. Like we're just human beings at the end of the day. And I will never be a perfect parent, but I just try to, when I make mistakes with my kids or if I snap at them because I'm frustrated, I always try to make amends with them. Yeah. I'll always get an eye level. I'll always apologize and say, I'm so sorry, Mommy shouldn't have raised her voice. Yeah. I was frustrated because of X, Y, and Z. You know, sometimes you ask your kids to do something 5 times. It's not until you yell that they fucking listen to you. So I'll tell them like, you know, sometimes Mommy gets frustrated because you don't listen to me the first time, but that's not okay that I talk to you like that. And I'm sorry.
That's so
and we hug and
important.
Kiss. Yeah.
There's certain things you don't realize till you get older that you're like, damn, that affected me growing up. Like it was very hard for my mom to apologize for things growing up. And it wasn't ever anything that I thought about until I got older. And I noticed that I had a really hard time apologizing. Like I wouldn't apologize in relationships. I would really like not take accountability for things. Mm-hmm. And I've had to teach myself. And honestly, it just came from when other people, as I would grow older, would say sorry to me. I'd be like, whoa, that feels really good that somebody messed up and then they said sorry. So like I've had to teach myself, and now I'm like very open about when I fuck up and I make it a point to say sorry. But just that little thing, because kids you're gonna do what your parents do.
Yeah.
Hearing your parent apologize is also like, it teaches your kid that you're also a human and you can make mistakes. I think growing up, you think like teachers, nurses, anybody of authority, like they can't be wrong. Yeah. Everything that they do. So I'm just going to follow what they do and it's got to be right. Mm-hmm. But when they apologize, it kind of like lets the guard down to let them know like, oh no, people fuck up as long as you like understand that you fuck up.
Yeah. And I'm not saying by any means that David and I had like this insanely hard life growing up, but like there were like a lot of struggles in our family and, we did not have it easy. And so when we had kids, that was something that we were in agreement on, was you have to break the cycle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to, like, knowing the trauma I have from growing up and that he has from growing up, like, I'm not going to repeat that cycle and have my kids experience that. And again, I'm still learning and I'm not a perfect parent, but I just want them to have happy memories and be kids. And that was like part of the reason why I took such a far step back from sharing so much online, is because my kids have no idea what I do for a living. And I love that. Like, they're so naive to it.
Do kids at school, that's what I was going to ask you too. Do kids at school say anything?
No.
Ever?
No, but I will say the school that they're in now, I am like the
of course.
least important.
Because you're in Cal. You probably yeah.
Everyone there is an actor, a singer, a professional athlete.
Okay.
Something in the industry, or if not, then like extremely successful at whatever they do.
Okay.
But like, we're not the niche by any means.
But in Arizona, I have to imagine like there was moms that were your fans.
Oh yeah.
So how would you like? I'm assuming you had to have conversations with your kids, right? Or like what? Or would they ever come home and be like, so and so said this?
No one ever brought it up.
Wow.
But I think they were so little. Like, Stevie in Arizona was only in a part-time preschool program, 3 hours a day, 3 days a week for 3 hours a day. So she was literally gone from like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. 3 days a week.
Okay.
And then Ziggy was in kindergarten, but no one said anything. But I think it's also the age. Like,
yeah, true.
They're not on social media, hopefully not, at 5 years old. And then their parents weren't really saying anything. We would have like neighbors and stuff kind of say, like, stop Ziggy and be like, oh, mom, this boy came up to me and said his mom knows who you are. And he doesn't understand what that means. But like, I, of course, know what that means. Yeah. So I just want them to be normal kids.
Of course.
I just want them to be happy and not ever take on anything that I've taken on from my job.
What about like when you guys are all, I have to imagine when you guys are all out in public together, people come up to you.
Oh yeah.
What's that boundary like with your kids?
I try, sometimes they'll try to ask to take photos with the kids and I'll refuse that.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes people will like approach the kids first. Oy. And that's like a boundary that I'll approach. And it's so sad that I have to think in my head when I leave those situations, like, oh, this person's going to think I'm such a bitch, or like make a video and say I was like mean or aggressive or whatever. But like, I've had people literally approach Stevie in Target, like run up to her, and I literally like have like physically stopped people, and I'll say like, I'm so sorry, but like, you are a stranger to her. And so that was part of the reason if
anybody were to get on the internet and say anything bad like that, well, it's common sense that you shouldn't do that.
When people have their opinion made about you, or like you have a certain reputation behind your name for whatever reason, people are just waiting for something negative to come up, where they're like, I knew it. I knew she was a terrible person.
Okay, well then segue. You get shit online, and it is wild to me because you're such a good person. You're such a good mom. You're so good at your job. And Kelsey and I had a conversation about this not too long ago, where there are some people on the internet where like they can do anything, and like no one really says anything. And I don't know what the recipe is. Like, there are people that have done really fucked up shit, and I'm like, damn, there's still like, everybody kind of like turns a blind eye. And then there are other people that for whatever reason have a target on their back. Mm-hmm. And like you said, they're just looking for anything. And I don't want to say that strong women that are outspoken typically tend to have that target on their back. But where do you think that you being very unapologetic and you being like, where do you think that stems from? How do you handle it? Do you also think that being a nurse, and I'm sure being able to like compartmentalize things, do you think that that's helped you kind of deal with like getting any online hate?
Yeah, I've always said that there are so many people that are untouchable on the internet. And if I did even a quarter of what they did or said what they said, I would never have a career online again. But I also think, when people watch you drastically change your life. Like, I started my social media career almost a decade ago when I was in nursing school. And so there's a lot of people that have been with me or like do research and realize like, oh, she was a totally normal mom with a job and like a very normal job, very hardworking, underpaid job. And I worked my ass off to get where I am. And people can say all they want that social media isn't hard work. But when I'm working 3 12.5-hour shifts a week, I have 4 kids at home. My husband worked full time as a sergeant at in Arizona, the local police department. And we did not have money to have a nanny. You know, like I would drop Ziggy off in the morning at like a home daycare and then go work my 12.5-hour day. David would pick him up on the way home. And then I was also posting 3 to 5 TikToks a day for 2 years straight. I did not take a single day off and was posting multiple times because that's how you grow. That's literally what it is. That's how you grow. And I was able to drastically change my life. And I never expected to leave nursing. Like I still have an active license. I think I'll always keep it active because I loved it so much. But when you work in such an intense setting and you now become a public figure, if you will, it does put a target on your back.
Yeah.
When you're taking care of kids that are the sickest of the sick and the parents know who you are, or maybe catch on to the fact that you have a large social media following. So maybe you have more money than an average nurse, that puts a target on your back for suing, for going after my license. It becomes really complicated. And people were showing up to my unit. People were calling, asking for my schedule. And so it just got to a point where I grew 1 million followers in, I think it was like 2 weeks.
Holy shit.
On TikTok. Yeah, it was insane. It was like over a 9-day span, I gained 1 million followers on TikTok. It was fucking crazy. I was literally getting like 100,000 followers a day on TikTok. And
were you vlogging? Like were you showing people like what was your original content that you were doing?
Well, when I first started, like back in the day, it was
your Stevie vlogs.
I did Stevie vlogs, but even before that, I was doing like how to study in nursing school, morning vlogs, my life as a nurse, my getting ready for work, styling scrubs, Stevie vlogs. But in addition to the Stevie vlogs, I was still doing like my 2 to 3 extra videos on top of that. And so that happened. And then I signed with my management a few months later. And then that was in February of 2023. I didn't leave nursing until October of 2023.
Wow.
So I was doing it all together. My team was like, okay, you got to pick like what you're going to do. And
did you have like patients in the hospital that would like recognize you?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What was that bad? Like,
oh yeah. And it was scary.
Yeah.
Or like I would get DMs from parents like thanking me for taking care of their kids, which I was so grateful for. But I was like,
you unbeknownst to you until they leave and they go home.
Yeah,
and
I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like I never wanted to like mix that. And so that was really scary for me. But what gave me the confidence to leave nursing was my manager was like, you'll always have a place here.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's like, people always say that I got fired as a nurse. And
really?
All the time I hear that. And I'm like, do you know how long I had my letter of resignation written up? Because it was so devastating for me to leave. Like it was so hard. It was such a big decision. And like I would have stayed forever at that unit too. I like loved what I did with those kids. But life took a turn and I'm so grateful. And I also felt like I missed so much of my kids first. Like I was gone so much because I was gone before they woke up in the morning and home when they were in bed. Like I am so privileged to be able to spend so much of my time with my kids. Like we scheduled this podcast so I can go pick them up from school. Like I dropped them off this morning. Like I'm there every single day, all day.
Yeah.
And when people see me leave on like a 48-hour, 72-hour trip for work, I'm like, that's nothing compared. I was gone for 3 days a week, every single week from my kids working as a nurse.
Yeah.
So, what you actually asked me though. Yes, people will give me shit no matter what I do. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm just a very outspoken person. Like I'm not ashamed to like have fun and do things that are funny that might bother people. But I also think people really take I don't know why they're really bothered that I was able to change my life and make money, because a lot of the people I see that do exactly what I do that are nothing but praised were either born into money, so they're used to them having it, or they're married to somebody
100%.
they're married to somebody, a man that makes a lot of money in their career.
Yes.
They're very bothered that I was able to fully change my life, retire my husband from law enforcement after 12 years, float my entire family, 4 kids, buy my house at 29. Like they're really bothered by that. But I always say the same thing. It is not unattainable. If you have a phone with a social media app that you're leaving a nasty comment on my page, you have the ability to do exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I worked a full-time fucking career and took care of 4 kids and was able to build this entire social media platform that is now my business and how I make money. You have the opportunity to do that too. But it's a lot of like, I know it's internal jealousy or whatever they're bothered by, but at the end of the day, you're judging someone that you've never met. You have no idea who I am offline compared to online, and whatever I do online that bothers you, that's you. But you leaving a nasty comment on my page or nasty DM to me says so much more about your character 100%. Than mine.
I have a couple of people that I know and love that just like, they just get it bad. And I think probably what people can't stand about you is that when they give it to you bad, you don't let it affect. Like they're not getting to you. And I think that drives people fucking insane because they want you to break down and give them whatever they need in that moment. And it's when I see that, and I know you as a person and I know your character, and I see that on the internet, and I'm like, wow, it's like, it's so frustrating to know that there are some people on the internet that are actually fucking assholes that everybody thinks is perfect and amazing and nice. And then there's people that just get like bashed for, and here's the thing, we all fuck up, but some people's like fuck ups cannot be let go by the internet. And it's wild.
Yeah. I have met so many people in this industry that are so praised online. And I'm like, you are not a nice person.
100%.
And I also think what I have done that's like been the biggest fuck you to people is in February, I stopped reading my comments and I stopped scrolling my For You page and I stopped reading my DMs. I literally will scroll my following and my Instagram feed.
Yeah.
Because Instagram's like a safe space for me.
Yeah.
I have not looked at comments in almost a year.
Yeah.
Because there is no better fuck you to give these people, because they're literally leaving this on your page because they want you to see it and feel like shit about themselves.
Totally.
And that's what I would do. I would self-sabotage. I would read it almost like corrective criticism. And I got to a point where I was like, why am I even giving this person the time of fucking day?
Yeah.
Like the biggest fuck you I can give is just to not
care.
Read it and not care. And I don't care because I don't see it.
Yeah.
Scott goes through my comments. He'll tell me the nice ones, or like he'll answer people's questions about where things are from or whatever. But I'm like, why would I subject myself to it? And I remember watching a Jay Shetty podcast with Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez. And he's like, there's 2 types of people in this world. There's people that read, or there's 2 reasons to read comments. One is to boost your ego because you want to read all the positive shit that they have to say. And I know people that are just fucking in their, because they need the validation. They need the validation. Yeah. And then the other people are the people that want to self-sabotage because you want to see these terrible things about themselves. And I'm like, I don't need either one of those.
Yes.
The second I stopped doing that earlier this year and looked up from my phone, I was like, wow, this is what it feels like to live life.
Yeah.
Why have I worked so hard in my career to make this change and not enjoy it?
Yeah.
I'm like, I literally charge my phone like every 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, that's it. Not reading. I recently started therapy and I'm working on that in therapy too, where I say like, I used to not, I was a child actor. We had message boards. When I was 10 years old, I was reading comments of people saying like terrible things about my body and my, whatever it was at 10. So when I started doing this and I would read a hate comment, I was fine with it. And then something shifted recently where it's not the hate comments. It's not the, like, anything subjective, like, it doesn't bother me. But when people write something untrue about me, when people make a judgment on my character that is so incorrect, that's when I have this like that's when I kind of slip into this dark place. And my therapist was like, why are you you're opening your comments because you want to find that. You're looking, you want to validate the self-deprecation that there is something in there, because you're also sometimes dealing with imposter syndrome, and you almost seek that as a way to like subconsciously validate your self-deprecation or whatever it is. But not reading the comments is the best thing. And then there's this other discourse on the internet that it's like creators, these creators are so entitled. They don't care about you. They don't read the comments. They're just monetizing off you. And it's like, not reading the comments is never because a creator or somebody thinks that they're above or they don't want to connect with their audience. It's that it's just too much of the wild, wild west now, where like people can write anything at any time. And it is not normal for one person to constantly be subjected to millions of comments regarding their family, their appearance, how they live their life. Like that's fucking wild.
Well, and I see the support from people because Scott will send it to me. Yeah. And I'm always so grateful for that. Like, I know I would never be anywhere without the people that, like, I've had people that have literally followed me for almost a decade, and I'm so grateful for that. But I think if you truly support that person too, you would understand that they need to protect their mental health. Because I can't tell you how many people have DM'd me like, girl, I don't know how you do it. I had one TikTok blow up and I never posted again because of the comments that came with it. And people are so quick to leave these god awful comments and opinions on someone's page, and they've quite literally never interacted with them. I can't tell you how many people that I've seen, or like I would say like maybe a year ago, when I would see videos about myself or that, which is why I stopped scrolling my For You page, because you can't control what the next video is going to be. And it always curates to like a video about yourself. So I was like, I'm just going to scroll my following. But when I would see videos about myself, and then I'd see people comment like, ugh, I know, I hate Avery. I met her and I had the worst interaction. She was so fucking rude. And I would literally, because I have like weird photographic memory. That's how I did really good in nursing school. And I am so like attentive to people that stop me, because when people are like, I'm so sorry to bother you. You literally gave me a career. I'm so grateful for that. And I would literally respond and be like, wait, I'm sorry. Didn't I ask your name, give you a hug, and we took a photo together? Deletes comment.
Yeah.
I'm like, but then the people that already hate you are like, I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
I knew she was a bitch. But it's like, people could say anything and they would believe it.
I think that's why I get nervous, or why I get if someone does a video and they're like, Christina Kirkman is not funny, okay, then like you're entitled to that opinion. But when somebody makes a comment about like an interaction that was never had, it's this placeholder that everybody can jump in and be like, oh, I too, now let me either make something up or let me totally twist an actual interaction. Then it's like the bandwagon. But also, that being said too, and we talked about this, there's like no loyalty anymore. I said it the other day. I said, mark my fucking words, Sydney Sweeney is going to do either one movie or one campaign, and everybody all of a sudden is going to be like, she's so good. Yep. That was like so what an impactful role. And because we watch it happen. We saw it happen with Jennifer Lawrence. We saw it happen with Anne Hathaway. Like, people will just, all it takes is one person to be like, yeah, we don't like that person. Everybody, that's the wave. And then that person just does one virtue signaling thing, and then everyone's like, oh, we always knew. Like, if this person has no haters, whatever it is, you know what I mean?
Like I was always on her side.
Yeah, always. And it's like,
yeah.
Okay. And you get a lot of shit. And we've talked about this, and I talked about this with her too, as like you said, making money.
Yeah.
And I have talked to other creators. I actually recently had another creator reach out to me to ask me for advice, because same thing, she started essentially broke, and by the support of her community, she's been able to have a career, which she's so grateful for. And now she's able to like buy herself a luxury purchase. And she's like, every time I do that, I just get fucking shredded. And she's like, I know that you've done that. And I've kind of talked her through that. And it's such a good point that you made, as far as like the people that we watch that are like known for luxury hauls or whatever it is, that like get a lot of praise. either are Nepo babies or married to someone and it's the norm. But there's something about you were this and now you're this, because now it's like, we liked her when she was relatable. We liked her when it was attainable. And it's crazy to me because when you're starting, you have people being like, you should have so many more followers. Why are you not verified? This person deserves to be so successful.
They build you up to break you down.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I remember the first ever luxury purchase I ever made in my entire life was a Louis Vuitton bag that I dreamed of forever. And I bought it right before I came back from maternity leave with Stevie. And you know what's so funny is, so I worked full-time in the ICU during COVID, during the pandemic, until 5 days before my C-section with my daughter. And my raise for the year was 67 cents an hour. And I got my Louis Vuitton purse and I was so proud of that. And I showed it and I was nothing but praised because I was still employed as a nurse. Do you think I bought that with nursing money? Fuck no. I bought that with social media money because I was doing both. I was contracted with Cherokee Scrubs. And they paid me a set amount a month to post for them. And then I was making money on the side with like random brand deals. Do you think I bought that on my $42 an hour salary?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
But this is what's funny to me is I don't show that shit anymore. Like you might see me wearing it, but like I'm not doing that fucking luxury haul shit anymore. But people are so mad about my house that I bought.
I was going to ask you about your house.
Guess what? They're the ones that fucking leaked the price of it. Do you think I went online and said, at 29 years old, I bought this house for this much money? Fuck no, you weirdo fucking
Wait, hold on.
freaks.
So when they were able to find where you live?
Yeah, and then Realtor.com wrote an entire article and the headline was, Avery Woods plants expensive roots in Calabasas, California for X amount of money and sells house in Arizona for this X amount of money, and posted all of the listing photos of both homes when I literally put my house in anonymous trust and took all of the Google images off, all the MLS. People completely compromised my safety and my family's safety and posted the list price. Like I am bragging about it.
But also like when Beyonce buys a new house or Jennifer Aniston, nobody's like, that's like, you're like, oh yeah, well they have money to, like, it's a weird thing with content creators, I think, because it's wild. You think like, oh, in order to be able to afford that, you need to be a surgeon, a big real estate agent, a lawyer, or an actor or a musician.
Yeah, we're making way more money than surgeons.
And
though.
now,
right. And also it shouldn't be that way. I'm not saying that, like, I pinch myself every day because quite literally, and I say this all the time, my job on a weekly basis, I would put children in body bags and carry them down to the morgue. Do you know what it feels like to do chest compressions on an infant? Probably not.
Yeah.
And I was doing that every day for $42 an hour.
Yeah.
Do I think the money I make is ridiculous? Absolutely, because there are far more people in this world that deserve to make this type of money.
Totally.
But I also think if you have the opportunity to jump at something and build a better life for your family, anyone's going to take that. And I did that, but that really, really upsets people.
And not only that too, but I did see an argument that I thought was really interesting, that this is like the first industry that's predominantly female.
Yes.
That women are like crushing it.
Yep.
And I think there's something to be said about that as well, that like, yes, there are most jobs are wildly underpaid, but social media can be really cool because it can allow somebody to totally change their life around.
Yes. And I think, again, like I said, everyone has the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
They absolutely do. But, you know, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought.
We were talking about your house, underpaid jobs.
Yeah. I mean, my mom was a second grade teacher for 42 years. My dad was my high school math teacher.
Yeah.
Like teachers, first responders, nurses, like doctors, they deserve so much more recognition and income. And you see a lot of these people leaving their careers to do social media. This is what I was going to say. When you said a predominantly female industry, it's so true. But also I've talked to my friends that are married and their spouses do social media. and they have kids and they're like, it's so insane that we can post the same content. And on my page, I get absolutely annihilated in the comments because I'm a woman and a mom, but my husband posts the same shit with our kids and the same thing. And you're the best dad in the world. You're the fucking greatest dad. You're so involved. And the mom gets absolutely shit on.
That's very valid.
It's fucking crazy.
Whenever like men just need to do the bare minimum with their kids, and everyone's like, oh, look at this dad holding his daughter's hand. And then meanwhile, the mom is like shuttling 8 kids. Literally. And everyone's like, there's a mom being a mom. Like that's crazy. And also like, times have changed that like a lot of moms are also working full-time jobs.
Yes.
It's not like,
because the world is fucking expensive. Like it's you cannot do what you did in 1980, 1970.
You need 2 incomes.
You need 2 incomes.
Yeah.
It is so ungodly expensive right now to even survive. And like, that's why I jumped at the opportunity to change my career, because I knew like, I'm not gonna be able to pay for my kids to go to college. Like they're gonna have an insane amount of debt. That was one of the first things I did when I started making money on social media, was being able to pay off my student loans was such a privilege. Like I felt so lucky to do that. And then I was like, okay, now my goal is to build up my kids' account so that they can go to college and not be stressed about where they're going to live or graduating with hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans, like, and the other thing too is like being able to put my kids in a school right now that's so safe, like having guards at school. Like Ziggy's kindergarten was leaked. Like people like to talk, and it's a public school and school shootings are happening. So, like it's not having money to buy materialistic items. It's to give my kids everything I never had.
Yeah.
That's why I work so hard.
Yeah,
and like people can say whatever they want, but as long as my kids see that and know that they're taken care of, then it's worth it to me.
Okay. Talk to me about, you moved to California.
Move back.
Move back.
We're back, baby.
Talk about like why was that the decision that was made? Was it challenging leaving Arizona? You have family here.
Yeah,
but you guys left. Did you guys leave any family really in Arizona?
We don't have any family in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. So we bought our house in 2019 in Arizona. We were there. So long story short, Dave and I are both from California. I'm from San Luis Obispo.
Okay.
My parents live in Morro Bay.
Okay.
David's from San Diego.
Okay.
Our families both moved us as kids to Arizona. When I graduated high school, I was going to move back to California to go to school here. My parents moved. As soon as I graduated high school, my parents pieced out of Arizona and they moved back to California.
Got it.
I stayed in Arizona by myself because I got a scholarship to college.
Okay.
And I was going to have to pay out-of-state tuition in California. So I was like, well, I'll just stay. Met my husband at 18. And long story short, went to nursing school, got married. And then his grandfather, who's very much a part of his life and why he's so grounded the way he is, because he was raised, like he came from, a hard childhood. His grandpa got really sick, was on hospice. David took a leave of absence from work as a police officer to be his full-time caregiver during my last year of nursing school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I joined him after I graduated. And then he passed away. I ended up getting pregnant with Ziggy. We were like, well, let's just stay here. David had transferred all of his police stuff to California. So he started working for a police department there. I started my nursing career at Rady Children's in San Diego. And then when Ziggy was 10 months old, because I was I had our oldest 2 girls and I've been their stepmom since I was 18.
Okay, so do you still have a relationship with his ex?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is she in Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we co-parent.
Okay.
Yeah. Like they're 15 and 13 now. So like it's not like all the communication is through the kids, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is obviously much easier. Like it's always been amicable. Like there's never been any like crazy situation like where we can't.
And you're
speak.
like they're split custody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's always been like that. But like as they got older and we were able to get them iPhones and like, you just call each other and text each other yourselves, which is so nice to not have like a middleman. It just makes it easier for everyone. But when I was postpartum with Ziggy, I was like, fuck, we don't have anyone in San Diego. Like, my parents were 7 hours north, and I was working full-time night shift with a new baby at home.
Oy.
And so we had our family in Arizona, which are like our very close friends, that we're still very, very close to. And so we went back because one of our friends graduated the police academy. Long story short, David's police department gave him all of his years of service back. And so we came back. And also, cost of living in 2019 in Arizona was nothing. And then I got a day shift position in the PICU. So we went there in 2019. And then fast forward 5 years later, when social media picked up and then David left work, I was like, okay, why are we still here? Like, we are able to afford to go back home. We've always wanted to come back here. I was traveling so much for work and the podcast. Everyone's in LA. Like, I was coming out here all the time. And I was like, wait, I left nursing to do social media to have the ability to spend more time with my kids. And now I'm just constantly leaving them again. So I also was like, family really is everything. And we didn't have any there. And of course, we had like our very close friends, but they all had like their parents and their siblings. And like, we didn't have that. And so we considered going back to San Diego, but then I was like, but we're going to have to drive. I'm going to have to drive to LA or fly every time I'm recording or doing something. What's the point of that? Like, it's literally like equivalent to traveling out of state.
Yeah.
And so I also didn't want to move my kids when they were grown. Like, they were so little still. And I was like, I want them to be able to plant roots, like establish roots and not be traumatized from being ripped away from all of their friends that they've had for so long. And so they were 3 and 6 when we moved back. And we were going to move to the Palisades.
Yep.
We applied for our house because we wanted to rent for like 6 months to a year before we purchased, because we wanted to make sure wherever we bought
was the right area.
And so we applied for a house in the Palisades. We were approved for it. And we bought our tickets to fly out 5 days later to wire the money and to sign the paperwork. And the house burned down 24 hours later. So then we were like, what the fuck? Where are we going to go? Because it was a big decision trying to figure out where we were going to live.
Yeah.
We didn't know where we were going to live. I didn't want to be in the city. I wanted to be close to the water. And so we were going to put the kids in 7 Arrows and Palisades. And then it burned down. And we were like, okay, what are we going to do? And so we didn't want to go to Malibu because, again, scary with the fires. We were going to have to drive out of the canyon and take the kids to school. And so we knew a lot of people in our area that we've known for a long time. And then my dad is kind of back and forth between Morro Bay and Studio City. So he's close too.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyways, we ended up then the renting process was insane because everyone's house burned down in Palisades. But I also was like, we are so fortunate that we weren't there.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been so much worse. And we were just lucky to have a roof over our head. And then a family friend knew someone that wanted to rent their house out short term for 5 months. And so we signed that lease while we shopped for homes.
Got it. Okay.
Found our house and we were like, well, let's renovate it.
And you just like recently moved into it.
We literally moved in the day before Halloween.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you're like also renovating while you're at the house?
No, it's fully done.
Okay.
The only thing, we're still waiting on like furniture items, but the only thing that needs to be done still is the primary bathroom and closet. Those are the only 2 areas that we're removing 2 walls. So you need permits for them.
Got it.
So we're waiting on permits.
That's fucking wild.
Oh,
you need a permit to fucking do your own house?
Dude, it's insane to do renovations.
That's the part of like, because we're renting this place and we're like, well, let's rent before we buy. But then I'm like, I don't even fucking know if I want to buy.
Dude,
like,
and then you got to have an architect come do blueprints of the place.
No.
And that alone, I think was like, I don't even know, like a little under 20K just to get that. And that's like not even like the actual remodeling or like materials. It's insane.
And then God forbid like a pipe burst, that's on you. Like a freak thing, like, oh, the 30 grand, that's on you. That's wild.
Yeah. So our plan is we go to Destin every year in the summertime. So we're going to go to Destin next year and fully leave while they redo the house. Well, not the house. God, we'll never redo the house again. Well, they do my bathroom and closet.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to live through the construction.
No. Are the kids loving it here?
Oh, they're obsessed.
Good.
Yeah. They have so many friends. Their school does so much like outside of school, which I really appreciate. They do like a lot of play dates and cool things like that. Like Stevie's learning French and Spanish. Ziggy's in Spanish.
Okay, cultured queen.
Dude, she literally is like, bonjour, mama. I'm like, girl, you're 4 and you speak more languages than me. Dude, she's a fucking hoot.
She's a hoot.
She's so funny.
And you have recently, or you've been showing your kids much less.
Oh yeah, I don't show their faces anymore. I haven't since, I don't know, summer or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just feel like, you know, you get to a point where I think at the end of the day, people stopping me and like stopping the kids, that was starting to like worry me a little bit. But then, you know, when they feel that it's necessary to like leak your address,
of course,
and do weird shit like that, that really scares me. But also, you know, it actually makes me laugh because when I stopped showing them, just so happened to be around the time that we moved, and so people don't think I don't show them because I don't want to pay them.
Well, when I was looking things up to talk to you about this on this pod, and I saw that, and I was like, that is a wild accusation that you wouldn't want to, like, you give your kids literally everything, and you know what, now I'm not going to show them because I don't want to have to.
I think I would actually save money in taxes
100%
because of that, but I'm like, my kids are
that's
upset.
The shit that's got to
like,
drive you fucking nuts.
But you get to a point where it's like,
you know the truth.
Yeah, that knowing the truth is one thing, but the other thing is like, it doesn't matter what I say, what I do. If I made an entire video and literally showed screenshots of
whatever
my kids being taken care of and whatever you need to see, it doesn't matter because people always find something, have something to say. I'm so done wasting my breath and my time defending myself to people that already have their minds made up. That's what it is.
And
it's you are already convinced. You have it set in your mind, and that's okay. Not everyone is for everyone. That's what it is to be a human being. But I'm not going to waste my breath. You can think whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care anymore.
I will say you really are like really inspiring in the sense that you've worked all these different jobs. You started here. You made it here. You've dealt with people being assholes to you. You're not jaded. You're a great parent. Like, I feel very inspired by your journey.
That's so nice.
Yeah, and you're a really good egg.
Thanks.
And it makes
so are you. You're one of my favorite people I've met in this industry for sure. Bitch, you know I don't do shit like this with anyone.
No, I know.
As soon as you texted me, I said,
and she did it on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you have a podcast. Tell people, do you have any clothing, like anything you're looking forward to, anything you're working on, anything you're excited about, anything you want to fucking talk shit about? Like, what? Any last final?
Well, yeah, at my podcast, we have some cool shit coming up. I actually am recording tomorrow a solo episode talking about how to make it on social media. So I was like, I'm so tired of people being so mad about my house that I bought or whatever money I made. And I'm like, I'm literally going to give you a step-by-step on how to do it.
Yeah.
So you can stop talking shit to me.
I love that.
Because I'm like, here, I can just reference that episode for people that are mean.
Yeah, no, I love that.
No, but I'm kind of just in my peaceful era.
Yeah.
Like I had to change my mindset a little bit about social media, which kind of made me sad. It was like something I really looked forward to and was really enjoyable. And then it like got really dark really fast. And so I kind of had to be like, this is how I provide for my family. And don't get me wrong, I still enjoy it. Like we were just talking about this. I do all my own editing, all my own uploading. Like I don't have any help with that. And it is something that gives me a creative outlet and I love doing it. But I did have to change my mindset and like look up at my phone into the real world.
Yeah.
And that really changed a lot for me. But I'm just in my peaceful era. I'm just like
you are
a carpool mom, a dance mom, God, don't say boy mom. I'll get myself fucking canceled again.
Oh my God.
Dude, do you know what makes me fucking...
God forbid.
Do you know what makes me laugh about that though?
Because this all happened, by the way, when you came, like that, all that stuff blew up the day you came over to do the pod. Because we were talking about it. Yes.
Dude.
That now, we were talking about that now, this video.
Okay, so the funniest part about that whole thing that literally makes me laugh is, first of all, for you to say I love one kid more than the other is crazy. Second of all, but when I did Stevie vlogs, I feel so bad for Ziggy. 100%. He's never around. He never gets attention because he's in school and I'm at home with my baby who's fucking wild, and it was something fun for us to do.
Totally.
Like that was how I killed time when I had a day off of nursing. It like brought me joy and it brought other people joy. But God forbid I talk about my son's preschool photo.
To make you feel better and how diabolical the internet is, I have 2 dogs. When we just had Winston, it was always me and Winston because I didn't have Willa and he was the career. We had a whole social thing going. It was us. When we got Willa, Winston was dealing with injuries. I didn't want to like overexert him in any way. And Willa was a puppy. So like Willa was in the video. People were coming at me being like, poor Winston, he's never in the videos. And please be so fucking for real.
Can you stop monetizing off your kids, Christina?
And then like if I showed Winston, they'd be like, yeah, but where's Willa? And I'm like, you guys are fucking batshit crazy. These are 2 fucking dogs. So I can only imagine with children what you deal with.
My teens, I'm like, do you think my teenager that's almost driving wants to fucking be in my TikTok? No. And you don't. There's nothing that anyone can say. It's just because you just get to a point where you're like, I know my truth.
Yep.
My family knows my truth. My kids know my truth. The people in your lives are what matter. And
and that's the tea. That's all that fucking matters is, and we're all having to work on it regardless of whether you're a content creator or whatever you do. Like, as long as you know your truth and your small circle of people that love you know your truth, you can't get bogged down by other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Tell people how they can follow you.
Oh.
And listen to the pod.
Avery Woods.
Why'd you just go blank?
I forgot who I was. Avery Woods with 2 Y's because some bitch ass fucking stole the Avery Woods with 1 Y. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I said bitch ass. I have no idea who it is.
We got to find the handle. Maybe offer her some prize money.
I've had the same Instagram for like 12 years, so I'm not
can't change it now. Okay.
And my podcast is Cheers with Avery Woods,
and it's a blast, and it's really fun. Listen,
really fun.
Well, I was going to ask you, what's like the most insane thing that you've ever heard about, like untrue thing that you've heard about yourself?
Oh, the 2 things that piss me off the most are saying that Dave and I got fired from our jobs because, here's the thing though. I'm so protective about my husband. I'm like, don't say anything about him. I'm like 12 dedicated years of law enforcement. It was so hard for him to leave. And he does everything for me and our family. So that really fucking pisses me off. Saying that I was only able to buy our house because I got a large inheritance. My parents were literally teachers.
Which one is it? Do you make a lot of money? Do you like, God damn.
What's another one? This is the first time in not my entire life, but since I had children, that my kids have both been in school full time, Monday through Friday from 8 to 3. So it's the first time I've ever been able to be so consistent in working out.
Yeah.
And like intuitive eating. I've been intermittent fasting. I've been meal prepping. Like I have spent so much time on my kids that like when they're in school, I've been able to like focus on myself and create routine. Yeah. I'm really proud of that. No, but yeah, when I gave birth to Ziggy,
you were 200 fucking pounds?
211, I think, actually. Yeah. Dude,
you were a big mama.
I was a big mama. And I remember I went on maternity leave because I had to take a photo of my foot and send it to my nurse manager because it was so massive that it wouldn't fit in my shoe. And I was like, I need to go on maternity leave.
How much did Ziggy weigh?
He was only like 8'1" a week early, but his head circumference was measuring 42 weeks. So David was born 13 pounds, 8 ounces. You know that? I know. He's 6'5", so he was a huge
tall
baby.
As fuck.
So they were doing weekly anatomy scans to measure my kids because David was so big as a baby and I was really big as a baby. And because he was my first baby, I really want to try vaginal. And they were like, well, he's not going to fit out of you. So we're going to try to induce you a week early. So because they said that he was predicted to be over 11 pounds if I went full term.
Can you imagine pushing out an 11-pound baby?
I know. So 42 hours of unmedicated labor. He went bradycardic and it still was an emergency C-section anyways. He said He said,
right, I hear that. And I go, that's all I need to hear.
Let me torture you for 2 full days of labor
42
for nothing.
hours?
Yeah, dude. He was supposed to be born 2 days before Halloween, and David would always make jokes like, I really want a Halloween baby. I said, I'm so happy you got what you fucking wanted. Did you have fun sitting down in the corner watching?
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
No, but
that's
dude,
fucking insane.
I'll talk shit all I want, like, about being a mom and my kids and their, it's literally the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, you would be such a good mom because I see you with the dogs. It's the most rewarding thing.
Yeah.
Like, no one could tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you can shit on my name all you want. I don't give a fuck because the kids, when they look at me with the love in their eyes, that's all I fucking care about. But even at the end of the hardest day where I'm like, holy shit, I feel like I got hit by a fucking bus. This was such a hard day. And I'm like counting down the minutes till they go to sleep. Like this daylight savings bullshit, that's gotta go.
Yeah.
5:30 p.m. and it's dark.
5:30, honey. It was hitting like 4. Yeah.
It literally gets dark and I'm like, oh, it's close to bedtime on like a hard day with them.
No, literally.
No, we got like 3 more hours.
Yeah.
But anyways, then I go fucking crawl in bed with them and hold them and cry when I look at them when they're sleeping at night. Like a loser,
No, I know. Having like, I got dogs and I became a fucking loser. Like, I can't even imagine me with kids. Like, I literally...
And then seeing your kids with your dogs?
No, I can't, Avery. I wouldn't even be able to fucking handle that.
Wait, are you going to get married?
Oh, God. Everybody keeps asking me this. I don't want to plan a wedding.
Oh, no, you got to hire someone to do that.
Yeah, but like, ideally, I don't know. I think it would be really fun to have like a Vegas chapel wedding.
Dude, the photos, the flash photos at night.
No, it would be so good.
Yeah. Can you do it in like a bra, like show your abs, like get married, like iconic 100%. Like that?
Like a little Asian provocateur moment with a little like white tutu.
If I had your body, I would be on the internet naked every day. Avery. I want you to model that Skims bush thong.
I want that Skims bush thong so bad.
Skims, you need to
also
send that
today was their fucking launch. I forgot to. No, the 20th. Is today the 20th?
I just bought my whole family all their matching fucking Christmas
pajamas. They have
pajamas.
their cactus flea market or whatever drop today, and I fucking missed it.
I saw North's campaign for that,
and it's already probably sold out. Dude. I want the bush thong for sure.
Yeah, get that. I'm only selfishly asking about your wedding so I can get invited.
Well, of course. I think you're going to officiate it.
Dude.
Can you Avery Woods is the officiator. That would be
I would take it so seriously.
You'd be
I
so
would
good.
Literally study for weeks.
You'd be like, Shane, I know I don't know anything about you. Christina. And then just talk about me for like 2 hours. It'd be the best wedding ever.
100%.
Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait to do our Life's a Joke wedding recap in 7 years.
In 7 years. Holy shit. I'm like, Ziggy's gonna be 14. That's crazy.
Invite them all.
All right.
It's Vegas. We can drink by then. 14.
That's crazy of you.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Avery.
Thanks for having me. This was so fun.
Thank you for being here.
So proud of you. You're killing it. And
we're so happy you're in LA.
Yeah. I'm an LA baddie. Ew. I hated the way that sounded. That was gross.
She's an LA baddie. Love you guys.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.